观众们，大家好，欢迎收看本期的最佳方案。孕育一个新的生命啊，对于所有的女性来说，都是一个既神圣神奇，又需要精心呵护的生命过程。人们说，母爱呢是世界上最伟大的爱。作为母亲，甚至在宝宝还没有出生的时候呢，就想把世界上最好的东西都给他。那么，怎样才能做到这一点呢？也许要从爱护自己、保护自己的孕期健康开始。今天呢，我们就请来了美国综合医学专家罗森医生和营养学的先驱罗森堡医生，以及2名幸福的健康妈妈，来跟观众们聊一聊这方面的问题。
So each trimester of pregnancy, there are different issues that come up. One overall issue is anemia. So anemia is a big problem that we want to prevent in women when they're pregnant. Another problem is digestive issues. Mostly in the first trimester, women can have nausea or distaste for certain foods, decreased appetite. So anything we can do to help them get the good nutrients in when they eat is really important. During the next part of pregnancy, constipation can come in. I know that no one wants to really hear about that or talk about it, but constipation is a serious issue. Anything we can do to help women have normal digestion and normal elimination is good for the mother and good for the baby. During third trimester, another problem that the doctors monitor for, it's got a long name, preeclampsia. The other name is pregnancy-induced hypertension. And without going into the medical details, it's a very serious issue if a woman does get preeclampsia. Often she could end up in the hospital. Often she might have to have an early cesarean section for the baby to keep her and the baby safe. So again, anything we can do to monitor or help reduce rates of preeclampsia or pregnancy-induced hypertension would be great things.
在前几期节目中啊，我们向大家介绍了过去20多年中的日本最畅销的保健品小球藻，以及它的营养成分、排毒功效和一些相关的临床研究成果。医生们说啊，其实小球藻对于孕育新生命的准妈妈们也能够起到非常大的帮助作用。
Sun chlorella can help pregnant women and their babies for many reasons. One issue is that sun chlorella is a whole food, so it's highly absorbable, and it has lots of nutrients. So I'm going to give a quick list of the nutrients. It has a lot of the B vitamins, including folic acid. Folic acid can prevent neurological problems in the baby, and a woman should be on that and on a good dose of folic acid for at least 3 months before even getting pregnant. And then it also is part of what prevents anemia. So you need folic acid, B12, and iron are 3 of the key nutrients to prevent anemia. And again, the mother, and then again, whatever is going on in the mother affects the baby, right? So sun chlorella has some B12. It's one of the only non-animal things in the world that has B12, because B12 is usually only found in animal products. So for our vegans and vegetarians, it's a great option for a B12 source. It has folic acid and it has iron. It also has a bunch of other minerals like calcium. And the woman also needs to keep her bones healthy. So getting some minerals in sun chlorella is helpful. It has nucleic acid. And again, sun chlorella is very interesting because even though it's plant-based, it has more per ounce of protein than meat. Other things in sun chlorella that are really great for pregnant women are it has some of the omega fatty acids, so you need those for brain function. It has the chlorophyll and chlorella growth factor, which is supposed to help all rapidly dividing cells. And that's one of the reasons we think chlorella, when we're growing it, grows so quickly. It also helps all rapidly dividing cells grow as well.
Pregnant women, of course, are growing life inside them. And that life is absorbing a lot of the nutrients that the pregnant woman contains. And the body sends them preferentially to the new life rather than keeping them in the body of the pregnant woman. So the pregnant woman can become very deficient in many nutrients. If she then takes chlorella during her pregnancy, she will help to replenish those nutrients that are being lost to the growing fetus inside her. So that's one very important function that chlorella can play, is nourishment. Another, of course, is detoxification. We don't want a lot of toxins and poisons getting into the baby. Chlorella can help to bind these toxins and poisons and remove them from the body, because a lot of these poisons are able to cross right through the placenta into the fetus. That is why chlorella is so essential, because it binds with poisons in the intestine and removes them from the body. Beyond all of that, a baby is a growing being. It needs growth factors. So the chlorella growth factor might play an important role in helping the cells to divide more rapidly and for the new baby to grow.
And then another issue is digestion. So a lot of women, because of the fiber in sun chlorella and the cell wall and the fiber that it presents for a woman, really helps their digestion. And I've had patients say who've had digestive issues with constipation, irritable bowel. Women we're talking about with pregnancy get the worst constipation. They can have relief in digestion improvements by taking sun chlorella. I want to mention a study they did with women during pregnancy. One half of the group, they added sun chlorella. Then they actually did real blood tests looking for anemia. So the group that took the sun chlorella, half of those people compared to the regular group got anemia, which they measured in that study less than 11 grams of hemoglobin. So that was really significant when I saw that study. The other thing, when I mentioned about the eclampsia disease, so if I can tell a woman, well, in this study, a statistically significant number of women in the sun chlorella group did not get preeclampsia, while the other group, women did in that other group, then I really have to say, add it on to your multivitamin or add it on to your prenatal vitamin. And there's some very interesting studies, and the overall result is that women who take sun chlorella, both during pregnancy and during breastfeeding, when they look at the actual breast milk and analyze it, it has less dioxins. I can't really tell my patients, go clean up the pollution. They're not going to be able to do that, but at least they can clean the pollution in their own body. The other thing I wanted to add that was in the study that's also hugely important. So the women who were breastfeeding, when they took the sun chlorella and they checked what's called the immunoglobulin A, it's part of our immune system. You need, and I'll call it IgA, you need IgA, every person, every child needs IgA to prevent infections. So wow, if I can increase a woman's breast milk with more good, healthy IgA levels, they're going to now give it to the baby who doesn't have a very good immune system. It's an infant. That's part of why breast milk's so important. And then potentially that baby is going to have fewer infections, fewer problems. By taking a natural product like sun chlorella, I'm almost remiss if I don't tell someone who's breastfeeding to take sun chlorella. Kids, as we know, like to eat candies and sweets if they can. And I found that in some of the families where they give the kids sun chlorella from an early age, it somehow, dampens the craving. So in children, it can dampen the craving for wanting to eat the not healthy food, the sugary candy foods. There's something about the taste of sun chlorella, the consistency, and I think all the nutrients it gives somebody. So I think sometimes when kids crave sugar, it's because they're not getting enough nutrients. So I think sun chlorella in children is a great match. And again, also if kids aren't eating a lot of other vegetables, if you can get them to eat the sun chlorella, which again to me has a really nice taste, then okay, if they don't eat their broccoli or their carrots that day, at least they got their sun chlorella in.
I started gradually with 5 of the smaller tablets, and I worked my way up to 15. And then eventually I just poured some in my hand, and however many fell in my hand I would take. So it might be about 25 or 30, and have been taking it ever since. Usually when you're pregnant, or I've learned that some women become very sick, or they experience a lot of fatigue, even very early on into pregnancy, and I really never experienced any of that. I do attribute that greatly to sun chlorella. I never had any issues. I didn't even have bloating, which a lot of women get, especially towards the end of their water retention. So where, I've seen my friends with, they can't wear shoes. I was able to deliver my first child without any pain medicine and within 4 hours. Actually, my second son, that delivery was 1 hour and a half. The third one was about 3 or 4 hours, but still very, very quick and a very easy process. I did gain, I think, over 40 pounds with my first pregnancy, and that's over the recommended amount, but even after the pregnancy, I was able to get back to my normal weight extremely quickly. I could fit back into my jeans after 6 to 8 weeks. I was able to work up until the very end of my pregnancy. 6 weeks, I came back to work. I think we've noticed the most about our children by taking sun chlorella is their height. He also has a very strong immune system, all of our children, and very rarely catches a cold or catches viruses that are very prevalent, in public school.
我怀孕初期非常难过，没有办法吃任何的东西，所以我大部分就是我流质的食物是吃的比较多，像是粥啦，然后一些果菜汁。那小球藻对我很方便的是，我打果菜汁，我就是把小球藻丢进去。我一直到生的时候，医生都说很少看到第一胎的孕妇整个生产过程这么顺利。我也跟医生说我非常的挑食，然后因为怀孕嘛，可能身体比较燥热一点，我跟医生说我爱吃冰。那这些都是一些长辈会说不好的事情，所以医生一开始也有特别的提醒我说，加上我有一些过去慢性病的一些病史，他会提醒我这次的怀孕要特别小心。但是很出人意料之外的，我整个孕期非常的顺利，然后我没有任何营养缺乏的问题。我产后我没有任何的减肥，然后我也没有做太激烈的运动，其实2、3个月我整个人不但是体重掉下来，而且感觉不像是快速减肥下来的那种疲累的感觉，反而就觉得我的身体很舒服，好像整个排毒完的一个很轻盈、很舒服的感觉。在出院之后，也就是宝宝出生第3天之后，我就给他吃小球藻，因为小朋友刚出来的时候会有胎毒，医生那时候跟我说不用着急，差不多4到6周可以排完，他的粉刺会比较消。但是后来我给他吃小球藻，第3天就开始吃，他其实2周不到左右的时间，他的胎毒其实就排得算是蛮干净，已经脸上看不太到一些粉刺的痕迹。
听了2位妈妈的孕期经历呢，真是替她们高兴。所有的母亲都承担着为人类孕育、培养下一代任务，我们所有的人都应该感谢她们。让我们祝福所有伟大而勇敢的母亲们健康、幸福、平安。好，感谢收看本期的节目，我们下期节目再见。